All right, so continuing with this concept of equal and opposite, diplomacy, not diplomacy, I started to think, what if in a rare case, individuals, a particular environment or society decided, I'm gonna live by this whole equal and opposite thing, and just to spite you, I'm I'm gonna make sure that for everything you want, I'm just gonna do just not, which is the most ironic thing, which is weird. And then I was like, what is going on? So I started to just explore the idea, and then ironically, the movie The Purge, I think it's called The Purge Election Year. Today's the opening day, which is the most ironic thing. Because consider it, you gotta see the movie. Because consider it, if that's the way that politics or the government or the world or the galaxy decides, well, we will conduct ourselves as an individual or an individual environment or a group of individuals in this way, then you have the movie The Purge. Or have you seen the movie Saw? Right? Oh, I'm gonna do this, that, or think about it. Saw, and and start thinking, well, this means that. Huh? It's ironic. What if a government really acted that way? What if an individual acted that way? What if a club or stuff like that acted that way? And then everything's kind of backwards or upside down or opposite or all this stuff, right? Um, which is just weird. So, and then it's like you watch the movie Saw. It's like, wow, that could be a real thing. If the world acted that way, right? You watch the movie The Purge, that can also be a real thing as well. Wow. And then you're like, oh, Saul, that's kind of weird. If you jumble Sam, what if the world was like, Saul or Uncle Sam, yeah? I think this way because I'm a constitutionalist from Connecticut, from the United States. And I just think, well, all this stuff, come on, with variability, that's stupid. Nobody would act that way. But then I'm like, well, what if? You start exploring it. It's like, well, maybe. Who knows? And it's just weird. Imagine. I just can't believe it. What if there are individuals who act that way, who literally go around all day and are like, uh, that was cool, opposite, or that was cool, all this stuff. It's just weird. And then, you start to trade up, you start to, all these things. Uh, you can't live life that way. That's just not the way. The world doesn't act that way. You have choices. Yeah, because if it's like, if you live a world like that and Saw becomes a real thing, right? The Saw movies becomes a real thing, or the movie The Purge becomes a real thing, then what happens? If this means that you could be an American, you could be a constitutionalist, and then you can say that, but then you're throwing away the United States Constitution. And what is the mission and vision of Sandalwood Corporation? Well, to empower, to promote independence legally, and increase quality of life legally, as it relates to the United States Constitution, 5A, 1A, and 2A. And I started to think, I was like, wow, what if people actually imagine if things just got out of control, right? Just started to think, and it's just really just ironic. Who would have known, right? This is weird, and so yeah. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you know, diplomacy is very cheaper and is in the best interest of the public, of society, and of the world. Um, and respecting the whole Constitution, especially 5A, 1A, 2A, is a beautiful thing. And what happens if individuals really decide, well, you know what, hey, equal and opposite, might as well not, and you just can't do it, because then if you live that way, then what's to say it's not like a form of like anarchy or whatever, and then you try to get away with things and stuff like that. It's just not okay. So some of these videos will explore that more and just explore this random stuff. And then if you want, share it.